This is one of the most important videos that you're going to watch in regards to imposter syndrome. Let me assure you that all the entrepreneurs, all the models, all the actors, everybody goes through imposter syndrome. Many people have spoken about this. Even I have gone through something similar as imposter syndrome. It's the notion of, oh, maybe I don't know enough to talk about this. Maybe I'm not corporate enough. Maybe I'm not skilled enough. And there's a solution: skill up, constantly skill up. But also remember, you don't need to listen to that negative mind, okay? The self-doubt. It's not healthy for you. Every time you have a negative thought, first of all, ignore it. But if it has to do with your skills and you genuinely don't know nothing about a certain subject, then educate yourself. I sometimes study 5-6 hours a day. I'm not saying you have to do what I'm doing. I'm a bit crazy, right? I love to go deep on subjects, but also I combine that now with time management. If I'm going to go down the rabbit hole for 5 to 6 hours, then I better make sure that I'm focusing on my top priority tasks of the day that get me closer towards my end goal for the year. And I made a video about this. It's in my course, and maybe you've got access to it if you're watching. So focusing on firstly completing my top 3 to 4 priority tasks of the day, top 2 to 3 priority tasks of the day. Then in the evening, whenever you want, go as deep as you want in the rabbit hole, learning, upgrading your skills in order to succeed more online and increase your confidence. But everybody goes through imposter syndrome at a certain degree, at a certain stage in their life. You're not alone. Now, how do you think creators create content fast? So you're constantly looking at people who are doing well online, people who inspire you. And the ones that get a lot of engagement, use that method of content creation to your advantage. Reverse engineer the process, add your own content. For example, if bullet point forms are doing really well, carousels on Instagram, well, do that for your own personal brand. Do that for your niche. And by the way, they're creating it that way because in copywriting, we learned that bullet point forms are really easy to digest, and we know how to create headlines that grab attention. And we want to guide somebody we want to get their attention when we want to guide them through the points, right? Then when they click next on the next carousel or the next post, they're going to see more information. Now, what's the benefit of bullet point forms, for example? Well, if you got, for example, if you're saying 5 ways to wake up early in the morning, if they don't resonate with the first 2 ways, well, if they like the third one, they're going to click like on it, and that equals engagement. So it's important to learn how to create content in a way that makes you stand out from the crowd, captures, increases engagement. And what you can do, if you don't have access to my other courses, or if you don't know, you can look at people online. How are they doing it? Reverse engineer the process. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. I am a big fan of reinventing the wheel, but sometimes reinventing the wheel takes time. So to get up and started, simply look at some people online who's doing really well, and then reverse engineer the process. Compare your branding, compare your social media posts and designs to theirs. Okay, and then get on Canva, and I'll share a link below, and start using it to create your consistent looking, branded looking posts online. Aesthetics do actually play a part in personal branding, right? You want your brand to look polished, to look professional. If you look cheap and inconsistent and all over the place, why would somebody trust you as a thought leader? Why would anybody want to pay you for a service? You got to be good at what you do. Now, I know that not everybody's trying to be a brand strategist here, but branding and professionalism and consistency and aesthetics plays a part in how you appear. Also, for example, in order to make your content creation process a lot more easier, you could potentially film a video for YouTube. You could extract the audio for your podcast, and then you could chop up that YouTube in multiple short videos for Instagram and for TikTok. That way, out of one video, you create 15 little short videos for your Instagram and for your TikTok. But if I'm going to get pedantic, I'm going to say, well, there's a method to that too. The top creators in the world who've got teams actually only take out 2 to 3 pieces of that content, which is viral worthy, that gives value. You don't just want to chop things up for the sake of it because it's content. You want it to be valuable. And as you understand the art of creating content that captures attention, that hits on certain pain points, or that makes somebody want to keep watching all the way from the first 3-second hook to the next 10 seconds, you will know what parts of your videos, what parts of your content is actually worth being posted on your Instagram or your TikTok, or what just makes you look boring, right? So there's an art to reverse engineering things. Don't try to recreate the wheel. Just look at what's working, add your own touch to it, add your own spin to it, add your own philosophies to it, your unique points to it, and go from there. And as I mentioned, I'm a big fan of doing things originally. So try to add your own original spin to it. That's it. That's all I want to say about imposter syndrome, and how top creators simply look at what's working and they reverse engineer the process in order to have success online. Go online, do some competitor research, see the people that inspire you, and get to work on creating a content strategy that works for you, similar to what's already popular and wanted and desired by people online. I was exhausted.